This is an experiment that has worked. That is called phase 1, and it is done entirely in consciousness. Because everything we are in consciousness, shows up in the outer world. So when we limit the inner consciousness, we have a limited outer consciousness. Bob Scheinfeld then talks about phase 2. And I would propose that anybody who ever shows up at this center, or a center like it, has started to move into phase 2. That's when you look around in your world and you say, that doesn't make sense. That can't truly be. War, disease, limitation, lack. No, it just isn't logical based on spiritual principle. It can't be. That's the wake-up time. We've been in Kansas in phase 1. No offense to anybody who's from Kansas. But we've been in Kansas, and now we're moving over the rainbow. Higher and higher and higher to move over the rainbow into that land of full color and full freedom. That divine urge starts pushing. It starts pushing. And once it starts pushing and we're aware of it, we never get away from that. We can't go backwards. It's the remembering. It's the prodigal son in the pig pen remembering who he was. It's Dorothy understanding that she could go home. She had that power within her. She was already home within. So we begin to have those understandings of truth, and we begin to apply them, and we see our lives expanding more and more, and unlimited possibilities start to open to us. In this phase, there aren't any common rules because each of us is free to make our own rules if we want to have rules. We don't have to play by everyone else's. But in the grand scheme of the Spirit, all is good, and we don't harm others. That's just a given. So we become our powerful, wise, abundant, expanded selves and start having more and more fun. Getting back or going within to what we are already. And so-called miracles become commonplace. We remember our own true identity and that of other people, and our life shifts. Now, while there may be ease in this, once we know this, it shows up easily. This process of remembering, however, is not for wimps. It requires commitment to a new way of thinking. It requires persistence and discipline to keep on that track. And the more we do, actually, the easier it gets. The reminders don't have to come as often. Somebody stole my page 6. So what does it take to live over the rainbow? That's our natural home, our natural place to be. The life of full color. First, and this, to me, this relates to the first 2 steps of spiritual mind treatment. The recognition that God is all there is and the unification with it. This first step is to think and live from the consciousness of who we truly are, to live and think and do whatever we're going to do from that place of spiritual purity, from that place of divine self, awakened spiritual being. So wake up. Every couple minutes, do a treatment, wake up. Remind yourself who you really are. The second one is intention. Clarify your passions. Clarify your heart's desire. Clarify what you want to see in your life and get your expectation up to match that. Not just, I want this, but get your expectation up to match your intention. 3, give attention to that, constant attention to what you want to see in your life. 4th, we don't have to make anything happen, so let go and let God. If you need to do anything outwardly, you'll be guided to do it. But it can be a much easier process than working hard and straining and struggling. Ernest Holmes himself said that we are often trying too hard to demonstrate whatever it is we want. I love the story that he shares in seminar lectures about his going to work. He wanted to teach this fine science of mind material. He set up an office. He was going to do practitioner work for people. He had his office set up for 6 months. He said nobody came except one person, and that person thought Ernest was insane. So he closed up shop, got a regular job, and said he wasn't going to do anything more until Spirit could do it through him. And several months later, what happened is that someone came into his office, asked to read one of the books Ernest Holmes had. Shortly thereafter, invited Ernest to come to his home where he had several people so that Ernest could talk to him. And one of those ladies at that meeting hired a hall so that Ernest Holmes could speak at a hall and share what he wanted to share out in the world. And shortly thereafter, Dr. Holmes was speaking to 2,500 to 3,000 students or people every week. He let it happen through him because he said, how else would he know that this worked? If we don't let go and let God do the work after we're clear of what we want, how are we going to know that this really works? I invite you to try it. I think you might like it. So in closing, I just want to read the words to Over the Rainbow one more time. Please interpret them as you would like to. Okay. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. This day I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops. Away above the chimney tops, that's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? I can, I do, and so do you. Make it your life, live over the rainbow. You're not in Kansas anymore. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you very much.